now if I make this decision, am I going to be committed to the work that needs to be done if I make this decision? So moving to
So I'm sitting here with my good friend Yair. So thank you so much for joining me today.
For sure, my pleasure. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate all the great work you do. It's beautiful. Thank you.
So last time when we talked, you shared that you had some kind of very big kind of business or career decision that you're trying to make, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit so that can share with other people how they would navigate through that. So can you share with us what that big decision was about?
For sure. Well, would prefer to share, if I come over and have with you a good cheesecake with cacao, but since we can't do that right now, we'll wait and we'll just, we'll dive inside. I have to say, I think that like it's kind of a process for decision making, any decision making. So it's not only the big decision that I'll share about in a second, but anytime we need to have, a big decision that needs to be made. So I think that this could be helpful, and the bigger the decision, so more time or less time, but we'll go through that. So basically, I had now an offer to move right now. Like I mentioned, I live in Israel, and I had an offer to move to the USA, California area. I used to be in the real estate business a little bit in San Luis, Missouri. I did some flips. That was a few years ago. I came back, and now basically I had an opportunity to move and go to the California area of Portola, not so far from Reno, Nevada, and basically go and work over there with someone and create a business that was, at least on paper on the Excel sheet, look really good. And like if I would have only worked from the Excel, I probably would have been out on the flight. But there are more factors, and then I decided, okay, from one side, like, okay, this could be a great business opportunity, a great not only business in terms of making money, but also I love challenges. So also in terms of challenge creation, building up myself. But then I said, okay, I also have my family. I want to create a relationship. I prefer here in Israel, and I had other factors that came in. So I told myself, well, this is not just a decision to make. Okay, wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee and cacao, and and make the decision. So I decided I'll get every time I make a decision, I go through a process. Not every time, but usually. And the process goes like this. So at the beginning, I gather information, and that's what I did now. I gather information actually for a few months, first on the business side, to make sure that it really makes sense. And also in terms of community and people over there, and like I just gathered as much information as I can. And I'll just say, Christine, that we can never gather 100% information. It doesn't happen. So my rule is, until I gather like about 70, 60% information. I forgot what general said that, forgot his name, but it was in the White House that they were having this, Tony Robbins, I think, mentions this. They were having this big debate about what to do for years, and then this general came in and made a decision. And then they asked him, wait, but you don't have all the information. And he said, well, listen, I think he said even 40 or 50%, I have enough information to make a decision. If the decision was a decision that will take us forward because this was the right decision, amazing. Or we'll see it was the wrong decision, and then we'll take the other option. So, but anyways, we're moving. We're not just, because if we keep on analyzing and we're staying in the spot, nothing will happen. So number one, I just, I gathered about 60, 70% of the information. And then after I did that, number two, this is the part that, starts getting interesting. So what I did is basically every quarter, I have I call it quarterly introspection. Like, as you know, my YouTube speaks about the 6 elements, about mindset, relationship, nutrition, sleep, movement, and financial behavior. So I kind of introspect into those fields in my life, see where I need to improve, what could I keep on doing the same. And I shut my phone, I put everything aside. So also now when I make a big decision, this time the focus was also there, but it was mainly on this decision I had to make. So I shut my phone. I made before some good snacks, healthy ones, by the way, healthy, don't worry. Dates with peanut butter and cacao nibs, things like that, and nuts. And like I just create like a good vibe around me, some good smells, and Like I wanted this to be from a good energy, making decision, not like, let's make a decision. So after I disconnected and I created for myself a good environment, my third thing to do was was a decision that I'm not going to make decisions that out of a negative place. So that means, okay, I'm going to move to America because I can't do A, B, C, D in Israel. No, that's not a reason. So whatever decision I make, it's out of a place of strength. Okay, what are my strengths? And because of those strengths, I'll move. So I'm going to move to create that business. Oh, because I think I'm pretty good with relationships, because I think I have a creative mind and I could do whatever I do. Well, I also love hiking, or because I love hiking in the Lake Tahoe area. So whatever decision it is that I make, so should be from a positive mindset and not from a negative mindset. That was also really crucial. And then the fourth step that I took, and if you have any questions, feel free to stop me. The fourth step was basically zooming out. What I mean, zoom out. So I believe each person has their core values and they follow them in life. And even if they don't know what they are, they can, figure it out. Go back when you were born, what was important, what wasn't important, what's important for you now. But there are the core things in life that like I follow them. And those are like my most important things. So I was many times like when there's a decision to be made. So like sometimes I'll be narrowed in that decision and I'll forget those core values. So what I did was, okay, zoom out. Well, what are my core values? Okay, these are my core values, 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing. Now that I wrote them down and they're in my mind, now I wrote down again. Only now I get to writing down again all the reasons, everyone talk about that, write down why you do want to do it or why you don't want to do it, whatever it is that you want to do. But realize that that's like step 4 or 5. That's only now I wrote down, okay, all the pros and cons of everything. And after I wrote down all the pros and cons, so I asked myself, I forgot if we're step number 5 or 6, but okay, now if I make this decision, am I going to be committed to the work that needs to be done if I make this decision? So moving to America or staying here in Israel and approaching more the coaching world, am I going to be committed to the work? That's number 1 in that section. And number 2 in that section is, am I willing to pay the price? So, spoiler, I decide to stay in Israel right now. So in this case, am I willing to pay the price of staying in Israel and giving up a great opportunity? So in any decision, am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to pay the price of making the decision? And after that, and this one is really crucial. I think this one was the one that kind of made the final decision. And I did it like 2 or 3 times. But before this one, I'll just say that it's really important if someone has more time. So like if you have 2 hours, well, I don't think you should give yourself 2 hours for a really important decision, but take also time off. So I took a basketball and I started like taking shots. I didn't throw a basketball for I don't know how much time. Or I'm a big believer also in movement, as you know. So I went for a run. I did exercise. Like get your mind out of the decision. It might sound weird, but get your mind out of there. Or I watched comedy for a little bit. Like I made sure also to get my mind out. So for the 3 days, yes, I was writing. Yes, I was doing introspection, but also did other things that that helped. And the last one that I did a few times, and this was kind of the deal breaker, is visualize myself 5 years ahead, okay, after I made the decision in each one. And not only visualize 5 years ahead, visualize the process. So I visualized and felt, not only visualize and felt, how is it going to be, okay, if I move to America, create that business, like the whole process, the challenges, the hardship, the fun, the celebration, everything, whatever I could. Of course, I'm sure there's much more than that, but I visualized it and also felt it, the whole process, and also, in 5 years, where I'm going to be. Now, I'm sure there are people listening now and saying, like, I'm really bad at visual, like to do this whole visualize thing. I'm not good at it, feeling it. Well, let me share with you a secret. I'm totally with you. I'm also not good, it's like anything in life, we didn't know how to walk at the beginning, and then we practice and we walk. So also just practice doing this visualization, as you say it as in English. And I did that a few times in both decisions. So I said, okay, if I make decision number 1, how is the process? How would it look? And decision number 2, what's the process? What did it look? And that was what basically that was a deal breaker that I said, okay, as of right now, I'm staying in Israel. Like for this offer, I saw myself ahead moving to America. I saw the process. I loved some of it. Some of it was beautiful, but then I saw the price that I'm going to pay if I do it. Well, I might pay. No one really knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but from the standpoint right now, and I said, okay, that's not a price I'm willing to pay. So I decided to drop, even though it's a great opportunity. The Excel showed beautiful numbers. I decided to drop that off and to go towards a different mission, which is more coaching and things like that. And to be honest, like, so a friend asked me, so how are you going to do it? I said, to be honest, I have no clue. But just, step by step. So I read a lot, I spoke to people, I spoke to you. And just every time, next step, next step, next step, and every time reflection and learning. And just being in a mindset, okay, that if I woke up in the morning, I believe in God, people can call it source, creation, whatever, but if I woke up in the morning, so there's a reason that I'm up. A dear friend of my family passed away yesterday, so we never know when is our last day here. And it doesn't mean that every morning I wake up happy, wow, amazing. Like, I'll try. I start my morning with gratitude meditation. I believe it's really important, that and movement. And with that, not every morning I wake up like, wow. No, there are days that I'm not up for it, but reminding myself that if I woke up, there's a reason I woke up, and I'll do the best. And even if I don't know how to get to that next step, learn. Always learning and focusing on the next step. So having a vision, but then focusing on the next step after, but that's already the stage after we make the decision. There are also many things to do, but that's already a whole different story.
Yeah, well, I love that. And I'm just gonna add one thing that you just said, like when you wake up, it's not always, happy. And by the way, I mean, I'll have you share what you do exactly. And what I do is I help introverted engineers get out from behind their computer to lose weight, gain confidence, and meet the love of their life. And recently I was talking with a client and just trying to get him, started on a morning routine, because I find a lot of people, they just roll out of bed and they go to work. And I say, well, then your day just is going to happen to you. Like, like you're just going to fall into the day from your subconscious mind instead of consciously creating, your day. And so I told him, just spend 5 minutes and just go through these, questions. And one of the first, questions that I said is like, I take this from Joe Dispenza, is what would it take to make this a great day? And it kind of goes like, along with what you were saying, like, I'm not always going to wake up and feel, amazing, but if you...
Hi, I hope this video is serving you. I just want to share with you that my belief in life is that you are here to serve a purpose greater than yourself. But in order to do that the best way, you must start with investing in yourself. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Kind of ask yourself that question, you could quickly, change things around before you got out of bed. So I love that. And I love your whole process. It's a very big process. And I don't think a lot of people really take the time to go through that. But I think it's important. Can you just quickly recap? You had 6 steps. Can you just quickly go through those again?
I will recap. I just want to say, if it's okay, there's one thing about what you said. I really love, the way you help people, and I think it's beautiful. Especially today that, people are always sitting down. There's some people say it's like the new cancer. I'll just say about myself, about feeling great, that, I'm always like, I'm systems. Okay, so what do I do in order to feel good? 1, 2, 3, nutrition, sleep, gratitude, helping other people. And today I learned there's a saying of, I think it's Brené Brown, in order to heal, you need to feel. I think it's her, I'm not sure. But so today, before asking if I'm in a challenging time, like I said a few weeks ago, before, putting my running shoes, running, whatever, I'll first feel the feeling. Okay, I'm not feeling good right now. After I might detach from it, all good. But I think it's really important to feel that feeling, and then going and doing the rest of the steps, not sinking inside there. But that's what I personally know. Each person does whatever is best for them.
Yeah, I agree
But
with that.
again,
Yeah.
that's me. Each person, because I was always the one that first. The first thing to do is find all the solutions. So sometimes, like,
Yeah, taking a moment.
yeah, just feeling it, and then and back to your other question. So that number one is basically gathering all of the information. okay, at least 60%, about plus minus. After we do that, so then we create time for ourselves that we disconnect from the world, put the phone away, shut it down, okay? And then when you do that, number 2 is we create an energy, like an energy, a vibe, a place that is good for us. So going to a place that gives us good energy, creating for ourselves like small celebrations, maybe in between when we go through the process, buying some things like snacks that we like, creating a good vibe, a good energy. Okay, so that's really crucial. And then number 3, being committed that we're going to make the decision based on our strengths and not based on based on our limiting beliefs or negative things. Okay, that's also really crucial. And then number 4, after we've done that, so now is the time to gather and analyze all of the information that we have, pros and cons list, because there's always pros and always cons, and so it's important to do that, but out of the that good vibe, and out of a place that we're looking at what we could do, what we can do, and not limiting beliefs. So then that, I said, we do that pro and cons list. And then number 5, so number 5 could be before 4, well, it could be 4 or 5, but it doesn't really matter where you put it, but it needs to be next to each other. That's how I see it. And it's basically doing a zoom out. What's our core values? Because before, like, we dive deep inside, so what are our core values that guide our life, and we're walking with them? Is this decision at all, like, we might do this like pros and cons list and then see, wait, has nothing to do with our core values. We just thought it's good, but it's not. So having like the core values guide us from above, and like whatever it is that we do, I think that's really, really, really crucial. And then in that time, number 6, in that time that that we're in this process and in this decision process, so also have time that we're not thinking at all about that. So go do something that you like. I'm a big believer in movement, whether you like it or not, but move, sports, watch something funny, talk to someone you appreciate, get your mind out of it. I think it's really important also to move out. And then with that, number 7, and it's the one before the last one, and it's divided into 2. So are you willing to pay the price of this decision? That's the first part. And the second part, are you willing to do the work? Because there's one thing to pay the price. That means usually, that when I say that, I mean willing to pay the price. I made this decision. That means I'm giving something else up. Am I willing to pay that price of giving up that other option? And then am I willing to do the work to make this decision work? Because whatever decision it is that we make, we shouldn't make it I made a decision. Okay, like, no. If this is the decision, be committed to do it. Be committed to the next step, not 1,000 steps ahead, because we don't know what they are, and we might think we know, but usually we don't. And then number 8, and I call it the deal breaker, is basically visualize the process and where I'm going. Also the process of me making this decision, and how is it going to be the next 5 years, and where will I be in 5 years? So also visualizing it, but also feeling it inside. How does it feel? And on both options. So there's a decision I need to make. There are 2 options, 3 options, 10 options. Usually not. I hope they're not more than 2, 3 options. Each one of the options, visualize and feel. Really crucial. The process, the challenges, the fun, all. And then where will I be in 5 years? And see where you're going to be in each one of them. And practice it. If it doesn't work again, try it again and again. And then just listen inside for the answer. The answer will usually come.
Yeah, that's great. And like the ones that stand out to me, because these are the ones that I use, my work is, getting still, those core values, and then the visualization. And as you said, a lot of people, maybe they don't know how to visualize, and they think they actually like have to see everything perfect. And I'm not really somebody who's really that good at it. But, you also mentioned the feeling, and the feeling does start to create, these images. So I actually have people, sit down and write down very specific. And again, a lot of times people try to be practical, and, they don't get that specific. So then I'll tell them, like, for example, I'll say, okay, you say that you want to have dinner tonight. What do you want to have for dinner? Oh, I don't care. Okay, well, I'm just going to throw a whole live cow. Are you happy with that? No, I don't want that. Well, you didn't tell me what you want. Okay. I put spaghetti. No, okay, I put spaghetti, and then I'm gonna put I don't know, like some disgusting stuff. I'll put, let's say, spaghetti with like peanuts and some kind of like weird I don't know, sauce. And then they said, well, I don't want that. Well, tell me what you want. So it's like the same type of thing. More specific, you can get what you want. Otherwise, if you're not, you will get what you asked for. And it might be not, it might not be exactly what you wanted, but it's what you asked for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. So thank you so much for sharing. And Yair, can you tell me exactly what is it that you do?
So what I do now that I decided to stay here, anyways, I work it's part of the 6 elements. The sixth one is financial behavior. So I work in a real estate company, and I help people find the right investment for them. That way they could create a a stronger financial future. That's number one. And from the side, I also and I think with time I'll turn it into my main. I also do some mental coaching, and also have a YouTube channel that the purpose is basically, I believe that we're all here to serve a purpose that is greater than ourselves. But in order to do that the best way, we must first invest in ourselves. We were talking about the business that I had in San Luis in the flips, and it was a time I was working like 18 hours a day. I was working like crazy, and then I remember one day I was doing pull-ups. So then I was going up, and like like I felt like a stab. I was like, I fell to the ground, and like, what is this? Like, I told myself in my mind, get up. And I was going up again, and then like another one, and I was like, wait, something over here is wrong. Like, whatever, long story short, I got to the hospital. By the end of the day, there was something my grandmother told me: you're always there for other people, but you're not there for yourself. So what I understood basically, that if I don't invest in myself, I believe that investing in ourselves basically helps us seeing the beauty and the treasure that is already here. It's in us. But in order to see, we have to invest in ourselves. So the purpose of the channel is to help people invest in themselves so they could see the beauty that is in themselves, see the treasure that is in themselves, and then serve a purpose that is greater than themselves. Now that could be just, the second that a person sees more of their treasure and they're in a more of a well-being place, so automatically that has an effect on their, on their surviving, and could be on their family, could be on their friends, could be on their neighbors. Maybe it's a bigger goal that they have. I know, bigger and small, each person, whatever's good for them, but there's not the right answer for everyone. So the channel speaks about investing in the mindset. Relationship with that is also relationship with ourselves, crucial. Movement, when I say movement, I personally didn't say running, I didn't say skating. Moving, it's really, really, really crucial. Nutrition, sleep, and financial behavior, because you could do all of those, but if you don't have money to pay, to pay your bills, that won't really help. And I think, but the mindset is really crucial, because as we mentioned, if we don't come from the right mindset of, okay, what we can do, a gratitude mindset of being thankful for what we have, so it doesn't matter what we'll get in life, it won't be enough. But if we'll be grateful for what we have, and we think about how we can serve, or how can we do things, or focus on things that we want to work instead of not want, and understand it's a practice. Okay, I'm not coming and teaching here something that I do amazing. No, I'm a student with you. My grandmother says that, we're the university of life, and when we're done with university, the day that our body decides to move on. So I'm also here in the game, and when things don't work, I try again. But helping people with these 6 elements see the beauty in themselves. That way, they create a better life for themselves, and also for the people surrounding them.
Beautiful, well said. And so if people want to connect with you, whether it's, for I guess like investment real estate advice, or for these 6 elements, how do they connect with you?
Good question. I'm still kind of new on social, but or through my YouTube channel, Invest and Smile. You could just leave a comment in one of the videos, and I'll get back with you. Or in Instagram, Yair Gafni. I'll send you the links. Those are two great ways to contact me.
Okay, so yeah, we'll pop those in the description so people can easily access them. And it sounds like your grandma's a really wise woman, so maybe next time I'm going to interview her.
Oh, but both of my grandmothers are grandmothers, all my family. Yeah, but I don't want to get in trouble over here. But yeah, they're really wise human beings.
Oh, you're very fortunate. Well, Yair, thank you so much for taking this time with me and everybody else today. I really appreciate it. Really wise words, and
Thank you,
really glad
Christina.
that you made the decision to stay in Israel, because once you show me around your place that you stayed, I said, oh, I want to come visit. So I'd be very
Oh,
disappointed if I missed that on that.
I'm waiting for your visit. It is a beautiful place, really beautiful here. Sunrises, sunset. I love it. I love it. And it's beautiful. I'm waiting for your visit. I'm also really honored to be here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon.
Sounds great. Looking forward.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. For us to help other people, please press that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget that the most amazing things in life are the one you take for granted.